A little while back, while talking about December PSVR2 games in a community post, I got this comment from Stephen May 7438. And Stephen May 7438, I'm going to call you out right now and say, you were right with this comment, saying that you think I'm going to really enjoy Ancient Dungeon. I hope you see this because yeah, you were correct. Fully correct. Ancient Dungeon is a release that's come in a sea of so many good games this month. And each month I have a game that gets the title of Hidden Gem, to be honest, in my video titles. And this is probably the one that's going to get it this month because it really is a hidden gem. I haven't heard that many people talking about it compared to the onslaught of talk about Resident Evil 4, Vertigo 2, and Help Wanted. So I want to shine a bit of light on Ancient Dungeon because it is a game that runs flawlessly, looks great even though it is voxel based, so you know what you're getting yourself into there, has great gameplay, great interaction, good physics, and a fun gameplay loop for the small price that it's sold for. So, let's get straight into this game. I'm gonna end up breaking something. This is just... Did I just kill a cat? What was that? This is just Property Destruction Simulator. Ancient Dungeon, at its core, is a roguelike, and I know a lot of people don't like this genre. They think it's saturated, especially on PSVR 2. We have a lot of them. We've got Synapse, quite a few other ones that are slipping my mind right now. I really should have included this in my script notes. Anyway, we've got quite a few. The Light Brigade, there's another one. But Ancient Dungeon does something a bit differently. It's mostly melee focused, so it does set itself apart from some of the other roguelike shooters that we have. And it's also got a very unique visual art style with very distinct, clear levels that all look cohesive but look different as you go between them. Ah, I see. So I can smack it back. Hell yeah. The main draw for me with this game is that when you hit something, it either gets cut in half exactly where you cut it, which is incredibly impressive. Hang on, it cuts at the length you cut it. That's stupidly cool. Or it goes smashing into 1,000 pieces. Ugh. God, that's so satisfying. This is probably the most responsive sword I've used, to be honest, in VR. Or turns into a ragdoll. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how satisfying that is. Those are the three golden parts of this game for me, is how things interact with your sword when you hit them, because this is such smooth combat for some reason. I don't know why this dev went so hard with the VR combat here, because it's so simple. You just swing, but it's the way that other things in the environment and other NPCs interact with it and react to it when you hit them that makes it so satisfying and makes the combat a real sleeper hit for me. Something that I didn't think I'd enjoy that much, but I really do. It's basically if Minecraft wanted to murder you all of the time, and not just some of the time. It does have pretty cool monkey bars though, so I'll give it that. For all of you technical people who also like to talk about frame rates and how things look and resolution and reprojection, I'm also one of you, so I understand, and let's talk about that right now. Let's get that out of the way. This is probably the easiest game I've ever had to explain in terms of resolution and clarity. It is incredibly clear, there's no aliasing, it's possibly the smoothest game I've ever played on PSVR 2 because of the nature of how simple the visuals are by design. Everything functions flawlessly, there's no reprojection, it's 120Hz I think. Yeah, it's pretty much the same experience you get as when you're playing, say, Red Matter 2. It's that level of fluidity, and to be honest, I expected that because of the way the game looks. But it does immerse you so much more when you're not getting any ghosting, and the game runs just flawlessly. It is so good. So no quarrels about how the game runs, how it looks, how it plays. It's all smooth, it's all great. No notes from me there. Oh, this is one of the sharpest looking PSVR 2 games I've seen, and obviously it's not very, you know, graphically intensive. As with any good roguelite, there are bosses in between each stage that you have, and you're not going to be facing the same boss every single time. There'll be a couple of variations, and that's the case here. From big slimes to other adventurers who've fallen before you, these bosses are a great complement to the rest of the enemies that you face throughout your playtime. Yep, hello. King Slime, oh yeah. I will not let you take me, King Slime. Right, he's done for. I need to kill his children. Ranging from slimes to flying knife blades. What is this? What am I being attacked by? Don't know, but it attacked me pretty good. There are a whole host of enemies And bear in mind, the footage I've got from my first hour of playtime is just from the first 2 levels of the dungeon. There are 3 more levels after that, and there's so much more to explore in those levels, but I haven't spoiled it for myself because I'm still playing through the game, and these are my first impressions of it. And I don't want to really tarnish my impressions going forward if I release another video on this, which I probably will. I feel really bad smacking them, but they're very easy targets. My only criticism of the game as it stands is that there's no co-op implemented just yet. I think co-op just came out for other platforms like PSVR and Quest. That's awesome. I'd love to play co-op on PSVR2, and I think it is getting co-op sometime in the future. So I can't wait to jump in and play this with a friend, because VR games are more fun in co-op, and this is no exception. I feel like this would be so much fun to battle enemies together, to go exploring, and there's so much content to actually deal with that I feel like having another player there would just be incredibly fun. So I have to fight the slime every time then? Why have I just found like a shit? Yeah, okay, great, cool. Thanks for that. Outside of the dungeon, you've also got a loadout you can choose from, research upgrades you can take to make your time in the dungeon that little bit easier, and catalogs of the items you found and the journals that you found inside the dungeon to let you know more about it. So a lot to explore and take in as you make your way through, and it's always worth breaking open chests and seeing what's inside and exploring as much as you can. What was that? Oh, you are quite large. Oh, okay. I don't want to fight you, I've just decided. I'm just going to leave. Bye-bye. Overall, I've had a really fun time with Ancient Dungeon, and it's a game that's come out of nowhere for me in December, but I've known about it for a little while in terms of other platforms, and I'm incredibly happy that we have it now on PSVR2. This one is not one to sleep on if you're a fan of the roguelike genre, or you think it looks like fun, because the performance is great, the gameplay is great, there's a lot of content here to explore through. I think it's around 20 hours if you want to find literally everything and explore all of the levels fully. The levels are procedural, by the way, each time you go through them. They will have similar layouts sometimes, but the seeds are random for each time you load up a new run, so you're gonna probably be surprised by a couple of layouts and new things every time you jump in, which is always good. Anyway, thank you all for watching, hope you did enjoy. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Ooh, go wasp. Didn't even kill it, useless.